You are watching the Atlanta Braves Fan Show on Fan Media Network. Hello, everybody. I'm Ryan Siegel, joined alongside with Gardie, her. And Gardie, again, it is that time of year. I know I said the witching hour last show. We're really in it now, my friend. It is Wednesday, August 31st here. 1 month remaining in the MLB regular season. The Atlanta Braves, 3 games back, a legitimate 3 games, not like 3, but we're 4 in the loss column and we're, pi squared in the wild card. It is a legitimate 3 games back of those New York Mets in the NL East standings. 7.5 games up on the Philadelphia Phillies in the wild card race. But taking a look, the Braves had a pretty good last few weeks here after taking 3 of 4 against the Mets at Truist Park, winning 2 of 3 against the Astros, sweeping the Pittsburgh Pirates before dropping 2 of 3 to the Cardinals and then losing last night to the Colorado Rockies. So Gardie, I mean, looking at some stats, the Braves have the 6th easiest schedule remaining in Major League Baseball. Now's essentially time to put it all on the table and cards on the table here. You need to win key games if you want to catch the Mets.
You do, and the Mets are in Los Angeles playing the Dodgers. We're playing the freaking Colorado Rockies, and we're playing them in Colorado, correct?
No, we are at home.
At home. Okay, never mind.
But they are a team that is almost 20 games below 500.
Yeah, they're terrible, and they don't even have the altitude to their advantage. Like they should be hurting right now. They're playing in Atlanta in the end of August, sweating, dealing with that humidity.
Whew. Whew. I'm getting hot just thinking about it.
Yeah, there's a reason why all those Southern Belles walk around with the fans all day. It's hot. So yeah, you have a perfect time to build momentum to win your division, because you want to win your division, because if you win the NL East, you're going to be the 2nd seed probably in all of the National League, and that's a great place to be in. I honestly think at a certain level, it's better to be the 2nd seed than the 1st seed. But like, this is what we've talked about for almost 2 years now. The Braves need to win winnable games. And what I mean by that is not games where it's like 50-50, 60-40. No, I bet you if you looked at the Vegas lines last night, the Braves were probably minus 265 money line. You shouldn't be losing games like that if you're that heavily favored. And that's not how you go on to repeat as World Series champions.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more if I said it myself. Again, the Braves taking on the Colorado Rockies tonight as well. And then staying at home, taking on the Miami Marlins over the weekend before going out west to take on the Athletics, Mariners, and Giants. But Gardie, I will say, looking at just the month of August here, it is August 31st. Ronald Acuna Jr. finding his bat, and Matt Olson finding the left and right field seats in Truist Park.
Yeah, gotta love it. For all the slack that for all the smack, excuse me, people talked about Matt Olson earlier in the season, the whole Freddie Freeman debacle, especially with the way Freddie Freeman came back to Atlanta, the whole tears and the blah 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 blah. This is exactly what you want to see, and this is something that, as a Braves fan and as someone who once a week talks about the Atlanta Braves, is awesome, because this is the reason why we went out and got Matt Olson, who is just budding as a star. And hey, you know what? As I've said routinely on the show, it's better to heat up in August, better to have 6 dingers in August than to have 0, or 2 home runs in June, then flip-flop that one. He's finding his stride. Ronald Acuna Jr. is finding his stride, which, as I've harped on for weeks, months at this point, the guy's coming back from an ACL tear. Of course, he's not going to be the same swagger guy that he was prior to that injury right away. It doesn't happen like that. There was an article earlier today on The Athletic about how he was dealing with intense knee pain earlier on in the season and an incredibly sore knee. Gee, I wonder why. So I'm excited. This is exactly what you want. And Austin Riley continues to be that dude. Same thing with Dansby Swanson.
Yeah. Ronald Acuna Jr. hitting 319 here in the month of August. Dansby 259. Matt Olson 252 with those 6 dingers. Austin Riley continuing to show that that 10-year, $200+ million extension was worthwhile. However, some signing news going on for the Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves have signed journeyman pitcher Jesse Chavez, and we were talking a little bit about this pre-show, Gardie, and suitcase is the word that comes to mind for me. Personally, when I hear this, yes, I guess you could say journeyman. Suitcase is where I think. But Gardie, I'll let you go through the I guess kind of the highlights or the let's say the MapQuest route of this guy's career. Go ahead.
So first of all, Ryan, how many Major League Baseball records do you hold?
I hold
None.
zero. I hold zero.
Just Chavez, he holds one.
I'm not upset by zero. I'm not upset by zero.
Most traded man in the history of Major League Baseball. 10 trades in his career. He's been traded. He's actually been a repeat offender on at least 4 different teams, including our own Atlanta Braves. 4 times has he played for the Atlanta Braves. Most notably in 2021, helping them in the postseason, including giving up 0 hits when he started Game 4 of the NLCS. But Jesse Chavez is 39 years old, and he has been around the globe. I mean, let's just close our eyes. Verbal meme, Indiana Jones when he travels across the water. Think of the music, the red line. That was him. Just I'm going to rattle this off really quickly for you here. Starting in 2008. 2008, Pittsburgh. 2009, Pittsburgh. 2010, Atlanta, and then the Kansas City Royals. 2011, Kansas City Royals. 2012, Toronto and Oakland. 13 through 15, he stayed in Oakland. 2016, Toronto again. First repeat offender, Los Angeles Dodgers. Then he goes next season, 2017. He sticks around all season for the Los Angeles Angels. He then goes on to play for, in 2018, Texas and the Chicago Cubs. In 2019, he goes back to Texas, is there for another 2 years. He then, 2021, is in Atlanta again, his second stint there. 2022, he's a repeat offender on the Cubs, so his now 3rd team of repeat offenders. He then also spends some time on the Atlanta Braves, and then he spends some time on the Angels, and now he's back on the Braves.
That's 9 teams to my count. If I did a quick little quick math, 9 teams, 10 trades.
Here's what I gotta say.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, the only thing I gotta say is he's clearly doing something well enough that these teams are trading for him multiple times, and the teams are still willing to accept him on trades.
What I want to know is how many leases does he have on rental apartments? Because like when you move into an area and you're, Jesse Chavez, you got to be sitting there going, you know what? I'm not going to buy. I'm not going to
6-month lease.
He's not buying. He's renting month to month for sure.
Dude, he's subletting.
Well, I mean, with some of these places, Toronto, definitely subletting.
Maybe. Oh yeah, 100%.
He's definitely a team hotel guy. Definitely living out of a team hotel.
I would love to know what his Hotel Trivago points looks like.
He's got to be titanium elite with Marriott. If he's not, I don't know who is.
Yeah, I mean, if I were a hotel chain, I'd get this guy to be my spokesperson and do kind of a John Scott type thing. Really just lean into it all the way. Hi, I'm Jesse Chavez here. You might know me as the most traded man in the history of the NBA. Yeah, wow, Major League Baseball, completely wrong league. I wouldn't be surprised if he got traded into one of those leagues.
Just for one season. One season.
Yeah, just one season. But I'm here with Best Western Hotels, and anytime that I have to be on the go in my illustrious 13-year career, I've always chosen Best Western, whether it be Los Angeles, Toronto, Oakland, Arlington, Atlanta, Pittsburgh. I've been there, and Best Western's there for you. It would be gangbusters. I would start being a Best Western customer if that was the case.
Yeah, it's truly something. However, I think going back to the baseball point, you mentioned it. This is a guy who's been around and has helped teams in some key situations, including the Braves last season in the postseason. He's a guy who clearly you can bring in for spot starts and to just get the job done for some longer innings. So that's really key. But Again, as we kind of like to poke fun, most traded man in baseball, just absolutely crossing the globe. His Southwest Airlines account looks fantastic. 9 different teams in 15 seasons. I mean, you just can't make that up. Like for
That
lack
doesn't
of,
even, that doesn't even include his AAA, because he's spent 2012, he spent a little time in 2011, 2012, 2013, and 2021. He all spent time in minor league organizations too. So he's a Gwinnett Striper for a brief moment of time. But yeah, to your point, sorry to cut you off, but to get back to the baseball, even though I'm really clearly stuck on this everywhere he's been thing. He brings a veteran presence. He's been playing professional baseball since 2004 with such a young lineup that the Braves had, and some of the miscues that they've had in their bullpen. Even Kenley Jansen recently blowing a save. It's good to have a guy who's been there before, who's had to deal with all of the adversity a guy like that has had to deal with in his career, because he's sitting there and he's looking around. He's saying, well, this is just, everything's gravy for me at this point. We make it to the postseason. I win another ring. I'm the most traded man in the history of Major League Baseball, and I have 2 World Series rings. And he knows how to deal with it. He knows how to be in different environments, different locker rooms, different cities. So I look at this is a great clubhouse play. It's a great bullpen play, even if he never touches the rubber.
And most importantly, it'll help out the bottom end of that rotation. And a guy that's been there before with the Atlanta Braves. So a familiar face coming into the locker room. But again, kind of looking ahead here, as we mentioned, the Braves finishing up tonight and tomorrow night with the Colorado Rockies at home before hosting the Miami Marlins for a 3-game set at Truist Park. And then they go out west for 2 with the Athletics, 3 with the Mariners, and 3 with the San Francisco Giants before it is pretty much divisional play from there on out. At home against the Phillies and the Nats, on the road at the Phillies and the Nats, home for the Mets, which is going to be hopefully by that point still meaningful baseball, and then ending in Miami. But like we said, this is a fan show. We want to hear from you, whether it's at home, on the road, in Truist Park, out of Truist Park. We want to hear from you. We love good stories. We love hearing about how crazy people have been traded. We love hearing about guys signing major deals. We love how mascots are stiff-arming children. Shout out blooper. Mascot stiff-arming children. Just asked Gardie about his time with the Philly Fanatic. One of the highlights of his life. We love a good mascot story. If you have any of these good stories, any of these good video, we will certainly talk about it on the show. But thank you for tuning in for this week's episode of the Atlanta Braves Fan Show on Fan Media Network.
To host a fan show or appear as a fan on a fan show, create a profile in Fan Media Network. Then look for the news page in our website and fan show resources page. Help yourself. We give show hosts a show graphic in team colors, a simple short show format, tips on pre- and post-production, ideas to get fans and guests on your show, Apple News distribution and show sponsorship sales and services to help featured show hosts earn money. Show hosts use our iPhone app to publish their shows. Our website supports Android users.